When I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a millionaire, assuming that a millionaire was living at this whatever you want level. I didn't realize you need to be more than a millionaire, but I just figured $1 million, you could have anything you wanted. Well, nowadays, that's not true. $1 million's not much anymore. The one went to 10 minimum. So like 10 million is the new million, and I want to be more than just regular. So I've set my sights on $1 billion.
All right, man. I got one of my favorite characters in the world, Brad Lea, with me. What's up, man?
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Not much. Just dropping by to check out your facilities.
Yeah, you got a short drive from your office here.
A little 14-minute drive.
Well, you got a lot of people in Vegas, who are doing some things in the entrepreneurial world here.
Not as many as I'd like.
I think more will come.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. So, dude, last time I talked to you, I was on your show, and you've got, obviously Lightspeed. That's kind of what you've been known for. You got a bunch of people on it. Now you're doing real insurance. You got do you have real solar now too?
Mm-hmm. It's just the real brand of companies.
So real brand.
Yeah, because I want to use the brand real to show people how to get out of the rat race. So I started with Real Financial, which is insurance, annuities, IULs, things like that. And that led to Real Solar.
Okay.
And then that led to Real Merchant Services. And who knows? I'm going to keep going.
That's what I'm doing with the Wealthy brand. We're renaming my core company, Future Flipper, into Wealthy Investor. And we're going to be building things under the Wealthy brand.
Nice.
So sounds like we're on the same page. Why real? Is it because you're the real Brad Lea?
Yeah, because I'm real. And I believe people should be real.
Yeah.
And, do you want to, would you rather chase your dreams or make them real?
No more chasing.
Not only that, it's just a great marketing tool. If you were going to buy solar, wouldn't you want them to be real?
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised nobody has those names.
Yeah, well, they don't. Real people making real money. I just like real, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people out there, they're just not real. They're not real people.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason for it was I wanted to show people how to get out of the rat race, but regular people, the ones that are, in my opinion, stuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the entrepreneurs like you, even though I could help a young man like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're already doing kick-ass. I'm not worried about Ryan Pineda. Right?
Yeah.
I'm worried about all the people that are still working for somebody else, all the people that want to be a Ryan Pineda, but don't know how. They'll never get started. Their mindset's not right. Their skill sets aren't right. Their habits aren't right. So what do? Well, I just have to create an opportunity for them. So I picked the financial services industry because it's made more millionaires than any other industry on earth. So you have a better chance of becoming a millionaire in that world than any other world.
It reminds me of the statistic that 90% of millionaires are made from real estate. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true. And then, hearing that it's made more millionaires, I'm like, I don't know if that's true. Where does this data come from?
I don't know. Ask Google.
It's
Ask Siri.
it's hearsay. It's
Ask
just an
Siri.
urban legend. Siri will tell us.
Siri did tell me. So I'm just assuming. I haven't verified and checked every industry in the world, but Siri, according to Siri, Google, they said that more millionaires have been created in the insurance business, the financial services space.
Right.
And if you think about it, dude, insurance companies,
a lot of money, stupid
amounts of money, bigger money than people can even imagine.
Look at Warren Buffett, that's his bread and butter is insurance.
Yeah. And so I just put out a little bit of information. Hey, if you're trying to get out of the rat race, I can show you how, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be insurance. Could be solar, could be merchant services, could be Lightspeed VT, could be whatever. But the bottom line is do you or do you not want to get out of the rat race? Because there's the ladder right there.
There's options.
You have to climb. And most people don't want to climb or they don't know how to climb.
Yeah. Yeah, you're giving them options in different ways.
I'm giving them options because before I'd say, here's what you go, here's how you sell, here's how you close, now go close. And then they wouldn't do anything because you didn't lead them to the actual industry or job. So I said, I got to figure out a way to give them a job.
Well, people need accountability too, right? If you were like, hey, here's how to close, and they're like, okay, I get how to close, but I don't have a job. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. But if they come under Real Financial or Real Solar, and now they're in your company and they're being trained and they're being held accountable to hitting their numbers, and people are just going to do better.
Well, we have the best pay plan. We have the best training. We have the best culture. So you put those together and it's almost a no-brainer.
Do they have to live in Vegas to do it, or
No, you can live anywhere in the 50 United States,
you're licensed everywhere?
everywhere.
There we go. So, yeah, thinking of insurance, you and I were talking about this a while ago, just like looking at guys like Patrick Bet-David, I interviewed a few months ago. He just sold his insurance business for, and I don't know what the reported figure was, but multiple quarter bill. Yep. 250 million. Then I know Ed Mylett's
After 8 years.
8 years. Ed Mylett's been super successful with insurance.
Ed Mylett's been extremely successful, all from insurance.
Yeah. But you never like even know that those guys were insurance.
Yeah,
they don't talk about it.
They don't want to tell anybody. Dude, I'm telling you, I had to talk with Patrick, talk with Ed, talk with all the people I know in that space. And I'm trying to piece together, how in the hell are these guys flying private, buying islands? Like, what are they doing, these people? And so once I started realizing what they're doing, I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And then I started looking at their pay plans because Ed wanted me to do it with him.
Yeah.
And I looked at the whole pay plan and I'm like, you're keeping most of the money at the top. Like, how's anyone supposed to make money? Well, the way they make money is you get a bunch of people to do it. Well, I'm of the belief that if you allow the person doing the most of the work to make most of the money, it's going to work out better. Like, I'd rather have a little bit from a lot of people than a lot from a few.
Mm-hmm.
Last longer.
Right.
I think it's a better value proposition.
You'll have less turnover.
Yeah. So I said, I can't do it with you, buddy, because that pay plan's not proper. So I went and looked, and really the best pay plan that was out there at the time was a company called FFL. So I didn't want to join FFL. I wanted to start my own FFL.
Got it.
So I got a hold of the people that owned FFL and I said, listen, we need to make a deal. So I made a deal with them and started my own IMO, my own FFL. A lot of people think we are FFL or we're under FFL and we're with FFL. We're not. Real Financial is its own entity. It's its own PHP, which is Patrick's.
Got
and
it.
by the way, Patrick was with WFG,
Yeah.
Ed's company.
Yeah.
But see, Ed works for WFG or with them.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want to be the main.
You want to be WFG.
I want to be the IMO.
That's why Patrick left too. He wanted his own deal.
He wanted his, well, no, he left because they weren't listening to him at WFG and they didn't agree with some of his beliefs. So he quit and did his own.
It worked out pretty good.
Yeah. Looks like he knew something after all.
Yeah.
Because that could have been within the WFG organization. It probably wouldn't have, though. Again, PHP's not paying very well either.
Right.
Like, dude, PHP, WFG, Prime America, all of the main ones, they don't pay very well. That's why I said, let me change this. Let me give most of the money to the agent. Let me put the agent first and the agents will start coming. And that's what happened. And on top of it, I went and got my boy, Andy Elliott. You know, Andy, he was here. I got him to come on board and partner with me to get everybody trained. And
oh, so Andy's running the sales.
Andy's got all the training and events, and me and him both together is unstoppable, bro.
Mm.
Andy and I together, dude, is better than Andy individually and definitely me individually.
Yeah.
Because we're different.
Very different.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, like, I love his message and I've looked for the cracks in his game. There are none. Like, he's really like he acts. His team is literally real.
Oh yeah.
Andy's real.
Yeah.
Now I know other people that try to get their team to be like Andy's actually is.
Mm.
So in other words, they put on a good show, but they're not real. When the cameras are off, they're not that pumped. They're not, they don't believe what they're actually saying.
Mm.
So anyway, there's a difference. So I got Andy to come in and provide the leadership, the training, and the culture. And so now it's just exploding. Anybody and everybody.
You guys are just partners on that now.
Yeah, anybody and everybody that wants to get out of the rat race that can get their insurance license, we will show you how to get the license, pay for your license, train you, plug you into all the weekly calls, live events, culture. I bring in all the hot dogs anyway, you know, all the big wigs. I bring them in to talk to us. We have events like people should like pay to go to, entrepreneurial type events.
But your people in Real Financial get to go for free.
Well, no.
Okay.
No, not necessarily. They get trained for free, but some of those events do cost money.
They're paid money. Yeah.
And then they have to buy leads.
Right.
Most people say, oh, there's the catch. Well, McDonald's has to buy napkins. What's your point? Like, we're teaching people how to be home-based business owners.
Right.
And guess what? You don't have to buy leads. You can go drum them up from your friends and family if you'd like.
Right.
And then quit the business a month later because you didn't make any money. But why not just follow the program where people are making $50,000, $100,000 a month like it's nothing? And there's work involved, but that's how you get out of the rat race, as you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because most people, they'll never get out of the rat race because they never have enough left over to do something. You're not going to do something with $800.
You know, we had a viral TikTok from your show where
That happens a lot.
it happens a lot, but
How many TikTok followers you up to?
1.1 million.
Nice. Broke a milli.
A milli, dude. So you said $20,000 does not get you much anymore. It's not enough to live on.
A year?
A month.
Oh, no. A month is where it starts to be.
Or basically you said this is what you said. You said life doesn't begin until you've made 20,000 a month.
Right. I agree. I do believe that.
Why?
Well, again, you can live on nothing and make $20,000 work and become, I would say, wealthy, or the wealthy way at least.
Yep.
It's just going to take a lot longer than if you were making more. But why 20,000? Because, and I'm not talking about 19,995, that's 20,000. But like let's say someone's making 120 grand a year. What are they paying in taxes?
You're going to probably pay like 25, 30%.
At least.
Yep.
More like 40, but okay, let's say 30%.
Yeah.
So now they're bringing home how much?
At that point, you just lost
let's say
40 grand.
Let's say 80 grand.
Yep. So
now they're taking home 80 grand.
Yep.
How much is rent on average? Anywhere. You got rentals.
2,000.
Okay. Now you got 6 grand left.
Mm-hmm.
How much is dry cleaning, cars, insurance, medical, toothpaste?
At least another 1,500, 2 grand.
You're going. Pretty soon you only have a couple grand left. And a couple grand's not going to get you rich. Now, read Richest Man in Babylon. They would say that's not true. Yeah, but they're talking about over a huge amount of time. I say we collapse time and we get rich quicker. And how do you get, and by the way, someone asked me the other day, why is recurring revenue the best way to get rich? And I said, who said that? And they said, well, what's the best way to get rich? And I said, quickly, instantly.
Whoever's going to pay you a fat chunk right now.
And I'll tell you what's funny, dude. I'll get a bunch of negative comments about getting rich quick.
Yeah.
That's bad. There's no such thing. See, we're educated from very young ages to be worker bees and limited thinkers.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with getting rich quick if you can figure out how. It is the best way to get rich. Now, some people will argue that. No. It's better that you take a long time so you learn and you don't lose it and blah, blah, blah. No, that's just all the educating and information we've been doing over the years, limiting ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's best to get rich quick.
I agree. I think that trying to build for the long term initially when you're broke is like not smart. You need to figure out how to make money right now. Go flip a house, go flip couches, go like do a high paying skill right now.
Yeah.
You know, your goal isn't to go buy a property that makes you $100 cash flow a month. That ain't making you rich. That ain't doing anything for you today. Like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, great. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to live an epic life the next 10 years owning 5 rentals. You know, even if you had 5 rentals paid off free
That's
and
not
clear.
making you rich.
Yeah, you ain't rich doing that. You're rich on paper, but you're not living.
You're not even rich on paper. Like, dude, don't you think, like, when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a millionaire, assuming that a millionaire was living at this whatever you want level. I didn't realize you need to be more than a millionaire, but I just figured $1 million, you could have anything you wanted. Well, nowadays that's not true.
No.
I know a lot of people that their net worth is $1 million, dude, and they're not that freaking set up and styling.
No.
They're on their way, but $1 million's not much anymore.
Well, and even if your net worth is that, you could still have it tied up in illiquid assets that.
Well, I think you got to start, the one went to 10 minimum. So like 10 million is the new million. And I want to be more than just regular. So I've set my sights on $1 billion.
Yeah. We've talked about that.
Yeah. And I would bet that I make it. If you'd like to wager
Okay.
any amount of money you want, I will bet you that I will be a billionaire, and you can have anybody do the accounting and verification
Okay.
before I die.
I'm not going to bet against you.
Because what's funny is if I died and I lost, I'd be dead.
Okay. There you go. That's a good bet for you to make.
Exactly.
Oh, geez. Oh, you always have the stupidest things.
Dude, listen, I heard you talking shit the other day with David Meltzer about my golf game.
You saw that?
What are you doing?
Dude, he was asking.
Dude, I've golfed 10 times my entire life, and I can outdrive you.
Oh, no, you can't.
I outdrove you all day long.
We have the clips of the two you hit on the fairway in 18 holes.
Dude, hey, that's 2 that keeps me coming back.
They were bombs.
Hey, they were pearls. And outdrove you.
You might have outdrove me on that one.
Now,
for sure.
how much money and time have you spent on golf?
A lot of time and money. A
Okay,
lot.
So again,
But
you
I've
can't
made a
hate
lot of
on
money.
someone that just naturally goes in and outdrives your ass.
Well, Brad, can you hate though? In my golf career of the Golf with Ryan product, it's made about $300,000 in a year.
No, that was brilliant. I love that. That type of stuff to me is why I go, man, this kid's pretty smart. Because all you're doing is basically saying, hey, I'm going to go golf anyway. You guys want to spend time with me? Give me 10 G's and come golf, or 20 or 50. And eventually, dude, it could be $100,000 game. Just depends on what's the discussion.
Yeah.
And who's with us, who's
Right.
in the foursome. Like when I went that one time, you probably sold the fact that I was going to be there.
I don't even remember who we went with.
I don't know, but there were two.
I think it was my employees.
There were 2 others, and you were telling me that you were charging. I'm like, dude, that's a pretty good idea. But that would be a good reason to invest and get good
at golf to do
At
those
golf.
things. Yeah.
Because I will get good at golf in about 3 years when I have time.
What's happening in 3 years? Like what?
Well, I'll probably be selling all my stuff.
That's when you're going to become a billionaire. You're going to sell all the stuff.
I will more than likely sell it and get real close, or use the initial capital that I'll get from the exit and go out and triple it.
What would be the plan after that? You go sell Real Financial or whatever. What else happens?
Well, I'm going to sell everything.
Okay, you sell the entire parent company.
Everything that I own.
Yep. Then what?
Then I'm going to invest probably 80% of it into certain things and retire.
That's
Be
cool.
a philanthropist.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
That's what you're going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to run around and help other people get there.
All right.
Dude, I don't know if you remember back when you were struggling.
I do.
Don't you wish someone would have showed you everything you had to learn on your own?
Yeah. 1,000%. It's hard winging it and figuring things
Well,
out.
not only that, you're lucky you did figure it out.
Right.
But I want to go help people get it to where the people that are willing to work, those people deserve the shortcuts, the blueprints. Why? Because they're willing to do the work. And no one's saying you can easily get rich or get wealthy.
Right.
But you can get rich and you can get wealthy. And that is the truth. The question is how. And I think people like us that have figured it out the hard way should deliver it to those that haven't, so they don't have to learn as hard.
Well, the question that you're answering is how quickly do you want to do it, right? Because there's a lot of paths of how to do it in the long run. But what you're saying is how can you do it quickly?
Well, I mean, it depends on your age.
Right.
To me, if I were 20, I got 30 years to get rich. Dude, it's way better if you got rich in a year.
Right.
So ultimately, you're solving problems. So the question is how big of a problem can you solve? And that's usually going to indicate your opportunities.
How much you get paid. I think I remember you telling me that the amount of money you get paid is in equal proportion to the problems that you solve.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love the billionaire goal. I mean, you told me that maybe like, I don't even know, maybe a year ago. I remember I was calling you. I was like, hey, I want you to speak at my event. And you were like, yeah, dude. And I don't even know how we started talking about it, but you were telling me about Real Financial well before it was ever made. And you're like, this is my plan to become a billionaire. And you were like, you should become a billionaire too. And, I had Grant sitting in where you're sitting a couple of weeks ago. And he's like, yeah, you should become a billionaire. Like there's no reason not to. Like the opportunity is there. And so I've never publicly said that was a goal, but now after being in business and being around guys like you and Grant, I'm like, all right, it's the goal. Let's do it.
Why not?
Yeah.
But to me, that's the new millionaire.
You said 10 million was the new millionaire.
Literally.
Yeah.
But
Billionaire's the new thing.
when I was a kid dreaming of being a millionaire, I was dreaming of being a billionaire. I just didn't know it.
Right. Living
Like
just
I was
a crazy life.
Just everything in abundance.
Yeah, being a millionaire is not a crazy life at all.
No.
But 10 millionaire,
Nah, not really.
Deca millionaire is pretty
You're
good.
starting to live comfortably then. You got to get into the centimillionaire. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the centimillionaire.
You got to get to 100 million before you're starting to like, I mean, you can ball at, 30, 40 million dollars per year in income, net especially. But when I think of balling out of control, I'm talking about like, owning hotels. I'm talking about like Trump shit.
Yeah, your definition of being a baller is very different.
Hey, how do you like your President Biden? I know you voted for him. How do you like,
I did not vote for him.
how do you like how he's doing?
Man, dude, we're not in a good spot.
Did you get the
what? Did I get the vaccine? No.
Well, don't say it because then they'll suppress the episode.
I've said it many times. It's all good.
I know, but they'll still suppress the episode, and we don't want that. We want it to go worldwide.
Oh, geez. So did you get it?
Hell no. But if you look at this video I'll send you, I'm sure you've probably seen it. It's called "Died Suddenly."
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Crazy. Send it to everybody you know that got vaccinated.
Oh, geez.
Dude, they're like, what they're saying are all the embalmers. That's what they do with a body once you've died.
Once it's dead. Yeah.
They go to the funeral home and the embalmers embalm you. They're saying that they can't get the fluid through these bodies, and there's bunches of them, and their arteries are clogged with this like calamari type substance, and there's doctor after doctor after doctor swearing by it, and I'm like, whoa.
Are you sure this isn't fake news, dude?
It could be.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist on those.
Neither am I. But again, I'm also open to listening.
I am open to listening to.
And at the end of the day, like for example, there are truly people that believe our population will soon make us all extinct.
Yeah, on the extreme.
But there's real people that think that.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, and they've done these models to where, hey, if we don't do something, we're all going to perish. Well then, and I was up in that echelon of, world controllers, because that's what they are. If they believe that, like the conspiracy theorists say they do, dude, we're in some trouble. We're in some trouble, bro.
Elon has the opposite view. He thinks population's going to decline.
That's what he said is a bigger problem.
Yeah, that's what he thinks that's why he has 8 kids.
Yeah.
Like he thinks
I've done my job.
How many you got now?
7.
7 kids. So he thinks population is going to decline in the coming years because people are having less and less kids. And, with less people, there's less innovation. There's less, production happening and all that stuff. Real quick, if you haven't heard, my book, The Wealthy Way, is coming out December 13th. I have been working on this book for years, and I'm super excited about it, and I want to have a massive launch, and I need your help. So here's what we are going to do. You can actually pre-order the book on Amazon right now on the Kindle version. And the best part is that Kindle version is only going to be 99 cents. Now, this book is a lot more valuable than 99 cents, but I want to get it in everyone's hands. So you can support by ordering it there right now. Now, on December 13th, you can get access to the paperback, you can get access to the Audible and all that good stuff. But that's not all we're doing. If you want to really support and leave a review for the book, I'm actually going to be giving away a free course that I created called Business Builder Academy. This is teaching everyone how to start a business from start to scratch, how to figure out your branding, your products, sales, marketing, everything that I've done to start up all of my businesses. I've put into this academy, and I'm gonna give it to you completely free as long as you leave a review on Amazon. So think about it. You can go buy the book for $1, leave a review, and get a course worth thousands. So if you want to support and you want to get access to that, go to wealthywaybook.com, okay? wealthywaybook.com. You'll be able to go pre-order it. You'll be able to submit proof of your review, and you're going to get access to that course. So I appreciate all you guys. Let's have a huge launch for this book and change some lives. You've got both ends of the spectrum. I think that reminds me of that. It wasn't the Da Vinci Code, but I think it was the book after that where they were talking about population, growing too fast and they needed to get rid of population. So
my boy GC was here. Did he have anything world changing to say, or is it just yeah, 10x?
No, it was good, man. It was
What did
good.
he say?
We just talked about like sacrifice and things you got to sacrifice to get to the next level. We talked about, what it takes to become a billionaire and the things you can do. We talked about the real estate market and Biden and everything else. So where we see things going and what it's going to take to do well in this recession and what it is.
I'll have to listen to the episode.
I'm offended you haven't listened to it by now.
Yeah.
Two of your favorite people on the same episode. You somehow heard me talking crap about you with Dave Meltzer.
I saw a clip.
Yeah.
I follow you on social media and I saw a little clip.
Yeah. And you're like, why is he talking about
And
me?
you took footage of me doing it and played it, which I didn't sign a release.
I don't know where the footage came from. Yeah. Probably your Instagram story.
Maybe. But I'm going to get my golf game back, brother. And when I do, I wouldn't say back because I've never really had it. I used to like shoot in the 90s.
Yeah. I could see that.
But I knew that I'd have to go practice to beat it. So I stopped playing. I played maybe, and I'm not exaggerating, 25 times my whole life.
Right.
That's not bad for 25 games.
No.
I'm doing it again this year. Matter of fact, do you want to go to the Governor's Black Tie and be on my golf team, or are you getting a team?
Let's do it.
Are you getting a team or no?
I didn't even know about the black tie last time you told me. Yeah. But
well, I got a team. So
I'll join your team.
Yeah, but I need 2 other ringers. So it'll be
I got all the ringers.
You and 2 ringers.
I got 2 ringers.
And I'm talking about ringers because, dude, there's a lot of good people there and they cheat.
They cheat.
Yeah, because it's all for charity and there's a bunch of rich old bastards there. And, dude, they cheat.
Yeah. No, we'll be good.
Gary Goetz, I'm not saying he's one of them that cheats, but he's one that puts it on.
No, I know.
And so Southern Highlands, you know where it is.
Yep.
And do they got the nice restaurants on each hole serving food? They give wonderful gifts.
Yeah.
It's a great time. Raising good money for good stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm done.
But I need a squad because I want to win one damn time.
All right. Well, you're going to have a squad. We're not going to rely on you much.
You won't rely on me at all.
Exactly.
Although I do get a couple of knocks.
You'll get a couple of putts in here or there.
Yeah. I get handicapped to a point where you can use my hole on a couple occasions. Last year or the year before, it was closest to the pin to see if you could shoot for the million. Hole in one gets you $1 million.
Okay.
If you want to shoot for the $1 million, closest was 1,000. In is $1 million.
Yeah.
So I forget what hole it is. It's the one that's over the water and it's on that other side. So I got within 6 inches of the hole.
Wow.
And so that qualified me to swing. Now, you know how I golf. So it's like, I'm hoping I don't duff the ground or go right or go left or hit the crowd that's watching. But I got in because of that kick-ass one putt.
People are expecting like really good guys to be on there.
Or you wouldn't be up there.
Right.
That was their whole purpose.
Yep.
So I get up there. And I'm telling, my friend already knows that I don't really golf. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. I'm going last. I keep going last, waiting for the last. Finally, everybody's watching. I get up there. Someone asked me, what am I using? I took, I believe, a 5.
Okay.
And got up there and just whoosh, perfect swing, perfect freaking shot. Came within freaking this far of going in the hole. I was the closest one. I won the 1,000. Everybody there thinks I'm a kick-ass golfer because I just walked up and whoosh, everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's going in!" I was the closest.
That's crazy. We said we're gonna have to start golf with Ryan and Brad. We're gonna have to get that one going.
Well, like I told you, bro, if you want to cut me in,
yeah,
I'll use my people.
Yeah,
that you do the teaching and I'll just do the joking.
Yep.
And when we're done, they got paid. They got their money's worth.
All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna advertise. If you wanted to golf with me and Brad, comment below, and we'll get that one going.
It'll be fun. We'll bring the cigars. Do a couple shots.
Yeah. Have lunch.
Why not? And
fun.
Who knows? Maybe form a relationship.
That's the big thing.
Well, that's the thing people don't understand, man. Like people always ask me, Brad, how do I get in these rooms? How do I get around all these players and whatnot? And I said, well, look, there's a couple of ways. Number one, you become one.
Mm-hmm.
Become a player. Become influential, and that's how you hang.
That's
around.
the hard one.
Yeah, but that's one way to do it.
Yep.
And then the second one is pay them.
Yep. That's the easy way.
It's like people don't realize that if someone said, Brad, I want to come shadow you for a day. I was thinking about creating this course, and you should too. $25,000, shadow me for the day. What does that mean? Just hang out with me. Follow me around, listen to my meetings, ask questions. We'll go to lunch. We'll end it with a cigar and dinner, and you get the whole day to ask and do whatever you want. And people are like, well, what am I going to get from that? Who are you going to meet while you're there? What kind of deals could you put together? What kind of relationships could you forge that will produce far more money?
Yeah.
But most people aren't thinking like that. They're thinking, well, what am I going to get for my 25 grand? You know, you get to hang out with me and meet whoever I know and maybe build a relationship to where now your well-being is my concern.
Yeah. Well, you know, like, what makes me think of that is like, I think it may have been you too, where we were talking about relationship capital being like the most important form of capital, like being able to get attention and being able to have certain relationships. Like that's what gets you to the next level. And, you know, we were talking about Andy Elliott, you know, recently. And I remember when I was on your podcast over a year ago, I asked you, I said, hey, who's like the most, you know, under the radar guy that you've interviewed and seen? And you were like, there's this guy, Andy Elliott. Like people don't know who he is yet, but this dude is a savage. And I'd never heard of him. Didn't know who he is. He's into car sales, right?
I got him out. I'm basically raising him up to be the new king.
Right. And that's the point, right? Andy and you develop a relationship. You're now partners in this new thing with much bigger opportunity than car sales.
Sounds like a repeat of Grant Cardone and I.
Yeah. And then you introduce me to Andy, and Andy and I are friends now. And, you know, it's just like, I'm releasing my new book, The Wealthy Way. It's like when I'm going to go launch this book, I got a lot of friends who are going to go help me and talk about it. And it's great. Like that's relationship capital.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's better than Pineda capital.
Yeah. I mean, seriously though, if you would ask me what's more important, like having a good apartment deal or a good real estate deal or even money, or having attention and relationships would be worth far more.
Yeah. You've heard the old saying, would you rather have $10 million or 10 million friends, real friends?
The friends.
Of course. Cause I mean, you could all ask them all for $10 and you'd have 100 million.
There you go.
Relationships are always more important than money.
Right.
I made a mistake with Grant a while back to where I put money over relationships. He put money over relationships, which strained our relationship. And it probably cost me a lot. And quite frankly, it probably cost him a lot, even though he still did fine. But, you know, if I could go back, I'd have just like, I remembered my rule, which is now relationships over money.
Right. You might have a disagreement, but
dude,
just deal with it.
If it's over money, like if me and you made a deal and I said to you, okay, Ryan, you do this for me. And when I start making all this money, I'll give you X amount of it, which is my deal usually.
Yeah.
And we agree. And then 2-3 years later, a lot of money's coming in. And I say, why am I giving you this money? Matter of fact, I'm going to give you half from now on. You've made enough. Now I'm going to give you half. Would that be fair? Would you have anything to say?
I'd be like, dude, like we had a deal.
Exactly. You'd focus on the money because you feel slighted, which is what I did. I should have said, no problem.
Yeah.
Because I did make a lot of money so far. And I could have made 10 times more had I just valued the relationship instead of the money.
Right.
See the difference?
Mm-hmm.
And same goes for him. A lot of people call me and they're like, well, you didn't name him in the book, but was that GC? And I'm like, well, you know, if you're not smart enough to realize who it was, don't ask. But at the end of the day, man, it's just lessons I've learned the hard way. And
Right.
that's one of the lessons I've learned. You know, I'm relational. Some people are transactional.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more important to be relational. Now, again, that doesn't mean stupid. That just means focus on preserving the relationship more so than the money, because if the relationship dies, the money will too.
Right.
So if you're focusing on the money over relationships, soon you'll have neither.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Definitely people focus on transactions a ton and they get so caught up and offended and, taken aback by like a situation like that. And their pride gets in the way where they're just like, no, dude, a deal's a deal, whatever, right? Versus looking at the totality of everything. And just saying, like, yeah, I mean, 3 years later, the situation has changed. Like, for us to continue going forward, we're gonna have to switch some things up. And, I don't know the full details of what happened with you guys, but just knowing Grant's career of like, yeah, I mean, that dude in 3 years blew up from where he was 3 years prior, and he put in a lot of work to get there. He did many things, and you helped him definitely along the way. And like, I feel it even for me because I've, grown a lot in the last 3 years, and I'm going to continue to grow a lot 3 years from now. And a lot of my core team has been with me through those 3 years. And, even now it's like, well, are those people going to be the ones that get me to the next level? Right. Like,
Or can they grow with you?
exactly. Right. And, with where I'm at today, is it fair, this kind of agreement we had 3 years ago when it was a lot more equal and who was bringing what value? And today it's not so equal, right? If I'm bringing the majority of the value today. So I think like it's having the awareness to understand when situations change that, you got to adapt. I mean, businesses always have to adapt.
Sure.
And so do partnerships and everything else.
Sure. But I will go on the record to say, I don't change deals.
Yeah.
I honor them.
And the deal was going to be like lifetime.
Period.
That's the hard part of a deal is a lifetime deal.
Well, again, don't make it then.
Right.
Say, hey, let's see how this goes for a year. I'm not committing to anything.
Right.
But that's not the deal. The deal was, I'll show you how to do this, this, and this. I'll pay for it all. All you have to do is do what I tell you to do, and this will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, deal. Boom. That happened. Then now we want to renegotiate. Now, listen, renegotiation is a nice way of saying renege on the deal.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, looking back, I should have said no problem because number one, I was making a lot of money, still am, still do. With him, I would have made more if I would have said no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even have looked at the money. Like, buddy, no problem, bro. Is that what you need, dog? Yeah, no problem, man. Lock it. Boom. No problem. Pay me half. Cool. That's still a ton. Love you.
Mm-hmm.
When are we hanging? Let's play some backgammon. Dude, come get me in the jet again. Let's go to the freaking 7th game of the World Series again. What are you doing, dog? Shit, I seen y'all, build a relationship. If that would have been the case, I would have made far more than I've made without that.
Right.
Why? Well, because I started at 10X with him. Like the very first 10X, a lot of people think was in Florida. It wasn't. But I'm the one that basically got him to do 10X. So that's why I was allowed to speak there. But when I was speaking there, I had no idea how to take that attention and monetize it. I was just up there and people are like, dude, we love Brad because he comes out here and he doesn't sell us anything. Because those were kind of pitch fest type things.
Mm-hmm.
Brad never sold us anything. Brad, we like that. We don't want to be sold. We bought a big, expensive ticket. But in reality, there was a lot of people being sold. And the majority of the money was being made at the event, not from the tickets to the event.
Right.
And I would have been on the next 3 stages, I'm sure, had I just said, no problem, dog. And then the third one, I would have recognized, oh, I know how to monetize this, made millions. Oh, the fourth one, another millions.
Yeah.
So I'm probably out 10, 20 million, not to mention a bunch of relationships I could have had, because Grant knows a lot of people. That some bitch gets around.
He does. Yep. So what's it like today? I mean, obviously now you're
now we're still buddies. I assumed we were tight. So I would not say that anymore.
Right.
Like, in other words, we're buddies. Like, he'll take my call. I'll take his. We do business together, and that's where it's at. I'm easy to like bond with somebody to where like, oh, we're buddies now, like good buddies. And in my mind, good buddies don't do that to each other.
Right.
Like if I have to take from you so I have more, I'll figure out something else. I might ask you to help me figure out how to get more, but I'm not going to take yours so I have more.
Right. Well, especially when everyone's eating already.
and boy, were we eating, and we're still eating.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
makes sense.
there's plenty of food. Nobody needed half of mine.
Yeah.
However, whatever. Hey, man, whatever.
So, I
And
think,
if he's watching this, he knows it's the truth.
yeah.
Which is funny too, because when he was on my podcast, I was expecting him to kind of not admit it, but he admitted it. He admitted old BL was instrumental.
BL was a core member.
I like to
of the
say,
team.
like, Grant is literally a bad impression of me.
You're the mastermind.
No, he when I met Grant, dude, he wore a tie. He was quiet, conservative, was not like he is today.
How long ago was that?
brought him out.
How old was he? Like how old?
It was
how long
probably
ago?
15 years ago.
15 years ago. Okay, so he hadn't got on social media.
No,
He's just a normal guy.
he just trained car salesmen.
Yeah.
Period. Now he was invested in real estate, and I didn't teach him that or show him that at all. He was doing that anyway. If anything, I should have learned from him when I first met him, and I'd probably be way better off in that regard too, because he definitely knows real estate. But he was taking all of his money that he was making training and put it in real estate, which turned out to be a good thing at that point. But no one knew who he was other than car salesman, car dealerships. He had no book, none of that. So he might have had a book, but it was car salesman type stuff.
He's similar to where Andy Elliott
Exactly.
was. Yeah.
So again, I had already started the Lightspeed training system. I already had the coolest technology out there. So I approached him, made him a deal, and I said, I'll show you how to do all this. And when I first started hanging out with him, like, he was very conservative. He was not like he is today.
Mm-hmm.
And after hanging out with me, I loosen people up. I bring people, I get people to become more real. And I think I brought him out of his shell. You'd have to ask him next time he's here.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to
Say
see
Brad
him.
Lea-
I'm literally seeing him next week, actually.
Say Brad Lea claims that he pretty much made you.
I will tell him that.
Yeah.
I'll see what he says.
And say, I'll text him right now.
Okay.
I believe, say Brad Lea believes that he made you.
All right. I'm going to say, what are your thoughts on that? Off the record. And if you guys want to hear the on the record response, let me know.
Dude, I was thinking about that on my podcast, leaving the microphone hot after they think it's over and call it hot mic.
That could get people in a lot of trouble.
Well, that's why I wouldn't do it, because you'd be violating a lot of people's trust. But I'm telling you, sometimes when my show's over and I hit the off button,
yeah,
that's when some shit goes down and you hear some shit. And I'm like, why didn't you say that on the air? Like, that's what people want to hear.
Right. Well, what I like is, even talking now, you're just keeping it real. Like you said, hey, I didn't like that Ed's, plan was this. I didn't like Patrick's. And so I did it myself. I didn't like how Grant did that. Like, you're not hiding anything.
Well, because, dude, listen, at the end of the day, I can't be known as the real Brad Lea and then not be that way, first of all. Second of all, I think I am that way because I'm confident and secure without anybody's approval, meaning I don't need Ed Mylett to like me. I like myself. And Ed liking me doesn't make me any better of a person. And it definitely, his not liking me, if he didn't, doesn't make me worse of a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I just tell the truth, and I'm just assuming that no one's going to be offended, because why would the truth offend anybody? Like, again, if GC were to watch this and be like, dude, why are you telling people? I would say, put me on a lie detector and put him on a lie detector, and then ask the same questions, and the same answers will come out, because it's the truth.
Yeah.
And if the truth offends you, then I apologize. Matter of fact, I always used to say, allow me to apologize in advance. and then somebody we know put it on a shirt.
Oh.
And the other day I said, let me apologize in advance. And somebody said, dude, you're like a Wish version of Grant Cardone. I said, well, then I need my money back. Okay. I need a refund.
The Wish version.
But for the first time, dude, people started chiming in to defend me, which again, there's levels to the game. And once you start having people defending you, even especially with other influencers, dude, like Andrew Tate, he's famous for it, bro.
Oh,
Go talk shit on Andrew Tate, dude. His minions will tear your ass up.
They will.
They will tear your ass up. And rightly so. because again, he's given them the truth.
Yeah.
Now, again, his opinion in some cases, I believe, is a little bit, let's call it dramatic.
Yeah.
But that's because he's smart and he knows that he needs attention.
You have to be dramatic.
But when you really listen to what he's talking about, dude, I haven't heard anything I don't agree with other than, again, humping 10 bitches. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, personally, I think that's dangerous. I would not recommend that.
That is dangerous.
But if you want that, this is how you get that. He's correct with that.
Right. And he has experience.
I'm coming on dropping bombs in January.
Do you?
And then I have to go to Dubai in March for a speech, and he lives there now.
Oh.
So hopefully I'll be able to sit with him.
How'd you get him on dropping bombs?
What's crazy is before even he was famous, he shot me an email and said, let's do a podcast and break the internet.
Really?
And all I replied was, talk to Maria.
Because a lot of people hit you up. And
I didn't know who
he was.
He
a
was.
nobody by then at that point.
Well, he was still somebody. He was somebody way before he was what he is today, like in Romania and where he was. He's been famous for a while in his own country.
Right.
But on the internet, super famous like he is now. No. Nobody knew who he was.
Well, I mean, nobody's at that level of fame now. Like that's
and nobody knew who he was, and neither did I. But I don't treat people differently. If I would have known it was him, now I wouldn't have said talk to Maria.
Yeah, you would have hit him up.
I would have said, dude, here's my cell. Call me. Let's freaking work this shit out, dog.
Yeah,
because I do want to interview him. I got Dan Pena coming.
Okay.
Just did Carlos Mencia, Dane Cook.
You're doing some random people now, like.
Well, I'm starting to, I have a lot of. I'm getting close to, I think, 1 million downloads a month, so it's getting pretty sizable.
Yeah.
So.
And how long have you been doing it now?
Out of responsibility to my audience, which is fondly known as the Bomb Squad.
The Bomb Squad.
For the Bomb Squad, I'm going to start reaching out and trying to get the bigger names, the celebrities. So, but I'll always take good stories. So you don't have to know the people. It just has to be a good story.
Yeah.
Like what happened, and can you teach us something? Can you talk about something to where somebody listening somewhere can get some value?
Right. Well, when Tate comes, tell him to stop by and film one with me too.
Well, I don't think he's coming. I think I'm going to be doing it over Zoom.
Oh, okay.
But when I go to Dubai,
yeah,
I will do it in person.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I'm going to close him on that when he does the Zoom version in January. Patrick Bet David got him first, which
like a 5-hour interview.
I know, but like that, I wanted to be the first one with Tate.
Yeah.
But whatever. Patrick's a good interviewer. I like the way Patrick interviews.
Oh, yeah. Well, think about this. Elon recently let Tate and Trump and all these guys back on Twitter.
100%.
And I'm like, dude, that was so smart because all these guys were colluding against all these guys, all these social media platforms. And Elon's like, nah, dude, come on back. You guys are running an illegal monopoly, colluding, and I'm going to get all the traffic with these guys. They're going to have to let them all back on to compete.
Yeah, the media says that Twitter's in a decline, when in reality,
no, they're killing it.
Their membership is higher than ever.
Yep.
I mean, I never unsubscribed or canceled my account, but I'm checking it now more.
Yeah, it's a lot more going on.
And it's just crazy when you see the people that they honestly believe that the Biden administration is doing wonderful. They're the same ones that get really pissed off at anyone that decides not to wear a mask.
Yep.
And they're the same ones that didn't let their family come over for Christmas because they weren't vaccinated.
Crazy. It's crazy. So what do you think's going to happen with Biden in the next election, dude? I mean, he's doing such a good job.
Gone.
He's gone.
1,000% gone. Even if it's another Democrat,
yeah,
it's not going to be that one. He shit his pants, bro. There should be a rule automatically. There should be a rule automatically. If you're the president of the United States representing the United States, you're representing us. You are not allowed to shit your pants, period.
I didn't know he did that.
He shit his pants, dude, meeting with the Pope on TV.
I'm going to have to go watch that clip. So who would you rather have be the president right now or the next election?
Well, I would like to say Ron DeSantis.
Okay. He's like the head Republican, right?
Well, he just ran everything, in my opinion, swimmingly during COVID. He handled everything. He didn't listen to the hype. He was like monoclonal antibodies, which now is obviously the known cure, or not cure, but remedy. He was giving those out until the Fed stopped him. He was doing all the things that somebody with no nefarious agenda would do, right? Like, in other words, he seemed to be the only one, not just him, also Kristi Noem from South Dakota and a few other ones. But I just like the way he ran things. And quite frankly, I would say Trump, because I like Trump. He's just fine. He's a businessman, but I think that might cause too much
polarization.
Yeah, to where now we got to deal with the drama. Like with DeSantis, I don't think there'd be that drama.
So you like Trump's, like, the result he would get, the policies, but you don't want to deal with the drama that having him is going to cause.
Yeah, because he's a businessman.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the government is a business. I mean, the United States is a business, regardless of what people think. It's all a business. And he was a businessman. So he was going to, stop all the backroom stupidity and, the self-enrichment from all the politicians. He was draining the swamp. He was redoing deals that we did because someone was getting paid off from those deals. Like, dude, he broke deals that were just like, who made these deals? He's like, who's made these deals?
Yeah.
Well, what he didn't realize is the people that made those deals are very, 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 very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you do then? Because again, like I said, dude, listen.
I don't think anyone likes Biden. I mean, that's even the most hardcore.
No, there's a few people that do, bro. It's the craziest thing. I can't imagine that that's the case, but it is. Go throw it on a poll. You'll get a couple.
You'll get a couple.
Yeah, there's people following you right now that like think he's doing fine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd do a poll on social media and
it'd be
you'd
zero.
Get zero. And I bet you get some.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like even the most hardcore supporters would be like, yeah, I mean, like I can't say I love what he's doing, but he's fine.
Dude, he shit his pants. His son, for some reason, is not in jail with the laptop of factual laptop from hell.
What do you think about this FTX stuff with them donating?
Why is nobody in jail?
Yeah, this guy committed the biggest fraud, like literally ever. But he gave $40 million to Biden, and he's
no biggie.
Fine.
It's cool. Nobody raided his house, but they raided Trump's.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, this episode's not going to get any play whatsoever. We're going to get a black helicopter coming out of the sky. You're going to get
I'm gonna
audited.
have to think next time I
You're
invite Brad Lea. I'm going to have to get some bullet points next time to keep you on track.
Hey, Pineda's going to be audited.
It's crazy. We're going to have to, we'll post it on Twitter. Elon will allow it.
I was just audited. Came and went perfectly. So
yeah, I don't know why people get scared of audits. Have you ever been audited? No.
This episode is going to get you audited.
I mean, we have all the books right there. I own a tax company. Like, go look at them.
That's what you feel when you're doing shit right?
Yeah.
That's why I always say, dude, ethics and integrity.
Yeah.
Look at the Chrisleys.
I saw something about that. What happened with them?
Bank fraud, tax evasion.
Wow.
Lying, cheating, screwing, evading.
A reality drama.
Faking.
A reality drama TV show about being rich. You would never imagine that would be a thing.
Well, it started with like Paris Hilton, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, just like
Paris Hilton made Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, they're friends.
Isn't that crazy?
I was talking about that with someone the other day of like.
And that just goes to show you
relationships.
How things can change.
Relationships.
Well, I mean, Paris was the big thing.
Yeah.
And then now Kim dwarfs her.
Yeah.
Things happen. People change. Times change.
Mm-hmm.
Tides change.
You got to adjust.
And some days you wake up and you realize, well, you're not the king anymore. Mm-hmm. There's a new king. And his name is Brad Lea. No, just joking.
You
I like all your branding though, huh, folks? Look at that.
There we go. You always tell me the dumbest joke every time I see you.
According to you, maybe.
You know what joke I'm talking about?
No.
It's how you ask for advice. The way that you ask people for advice.
How? You must be thinking of somebody else.
No, I'm thinking about you.
I have a joke about how I ask for advice.
Yep. You say, hey, let me give you a hypothetical. You wake up in the morning You look down.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you tell your joke.
It's not a joke.
I know.
It's usually when I'm talking to people. It's usually when I'm talking to folks and I want to get inside their head. I say, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow, looked down, saw that your dick was a little bigger, and you realized you became me? What would you do? And then I listen to what they have to say, and if they could put themselves in my position, because sometimes that perspective would be, fresh. Why? Well, because, dude, what would you do if you were me? That's what I want to know. Like, what would you do if you were me? People be like, well, I'd do this and I'd do this. And I'd be thinking, ooh, I didn't even think of that. Like, because you're looking at it from a different angle.
But just asking for advice every time I've seen you do that. You've told me that joke at least 3 times. And I'm like, Brad, like, you could just ask what you think I should do.
Yeah, but it's not a joke. I wanted to paint the picture. Like, you woke up, you realized, you looked down, you realized you had a much larger member than you did the day before when you were you.
Yep. Now I got to decide what I'm going to do with all this glory.
Huh? That's what I'm talking about.
That's why you have 7 kids.
Well, no, it's not really. That's why I don't have 17.
17. How was it managing that many kids, dude?
Well, I mean, I had them along the way. So I only had, one when I was 17, then one when I was 19.
Wow, you had kids that young.
Yeah, then another one when I was 22, then another one when I was 25, and then another one when I was 40. No, 42. So they've been phased over time. I'm getting better. Let's just put it that way.
Are there going to be more?
Yeah, I'm not going to stop humping, that's for sure.
And whatever happens, happens.
Hey, that's not up to me.
Dude, you know what's good? You actually told me this too. You said you were going to lose a lot of weight and take things serious. And you look good, dude.
Starting to. Thank you.
How much weight have you lost?
I haven't lost any. That's the weirdest.
No, you've lost from last year.
No. Same weight.
Well, then your body composition is changing.
That's all that's changing.
Right.
My body fat was about 27%.
And now?
It's like 14, 15.
Yeah. That's about what I am.
No.
Yeah.
You're leaner than I am. Well, then I'm 18, 19.
You got to get, so I'm
trying to get to 9.
Okay.
Once I finish at 9, then I'm going to just design a lifestyle, and whatever that equals will where I'll land.
That's where I've been. I've been just like on my lifestyle diet, but
because I like to enjoy, dude. Sometimes, like, I'm not gonna like. I like healthy food, but like, for example, cucumbers. I love cucumbers, but they're better when you dip them in ranch.
Bro, your boy Andy Elliott and his team are yoked.
They're all yoked. They work out every day nonstop.
Yeah, they got to be strict diets to be that yoked.
But to them, it's not even. It's just game.
Lifestyle.
It's all a game.
Yeah.
They wake up fire-breathing dragons, eating nails and spitting blood.
And you're trying to enjoy some life along the way.
Well, listen, I'm a little bit older. You heard of the old bull and the young bull, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you and Andy are probably similar age now.
Andy's 42, let's say.
And how old are you now?
53.
53. Yeah. And I'm 33. We're like,
so 10 years from now, do you think you'll be any smarter?
I would hope so.
You think you'll be smarter when you're 53?
I would hope so.
Exactly.
20 years from now. That's a lot of wisdom and experience.
It's a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom, a lot of do's and don'ts. You'll learn, you'll see, you'll watch.
Where were you at 33? What were you doing?
I just started Lightspeed. I was broke, knocking on doors, trying to sell my vision to people. Telling them online learning will be big, and no one believed me.
Yeah, 20 years ago, nobody was doing online learning.
I was.
Wow.
I started it. I'm technically the father of the online learning.
What made you think that it was going to be so large?
Well, because
this would have been in what, 2000?
99, 2000.
Yeah.
To me, I was out there running around, and I realized that training people required 4 things: good content, repetition, practice, and accountability. That's how you actually train somebody, just like athletes. Was there any repetition in baseball?
Every day, nonstop.
So people miss repetition. Companies miss repetition. So I started a business to go out there and compete with the Grants and the Joes and the Brian Tracys and all those guys, because I had great sales training, and I used to produce people left and right, turn them into badasses. And so I quit my job to go out on the road at like 30. So it took me 8 years to get it rolling. But so 33, I was 3 years into it. But the reason why I knew it is because I went out on the road to try and do it live and realized this isn't working. And so Grant and everybody else that was doing it out on the road had no advantage. In other words, there was no repetition for them either. So it's a nice show that everybody's, winning, but I knew it's bullshit. So I invented Lightspeed for myself. And then when it worked for me, I said, well, this solution would work for them. So I started showing it to all the people that were out there training. And then next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire.
So this was 15, 20 years ago. You're
22, yeah.
You see all these guys who are on the road with you. You guys are all doing the same thing.
Living
You're
out
like,
of a
this ain't
suitcase.
scalable. I
No.
can't just keep going to a different place. Like, how do I get
could, I
this?
just didn't want to.
Yeah, it's not scalable.
Got to live out of a suitcase.
And that's kind of what I've realized about social media and why I went so hard at it. I'm just like, why would I go speak at an event in front of, a few hundred people when I can just get my message out there every day to millions? It doesn't make sense.
That's why everyone right now should build a brand.
Yeah, 1000%.
Personal brand on social media is worth millions.
I started a new company for that.
What's it called?
Content Empire. I teach entrepreneurs how to build personal brands. It's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, people pay for that. I had an event the other day at my downstairs. I think we charged $5,000. Had about 60 people show up.
Mm-hmm.
And I taught them my process.
Yep.
And when they say, well, how do I know it works? Look at my social media.
You're watching it. You watch my social media. You know it works, right?
And it does work. And it's not that difficult. Yes, it takes time though. But you do it a little bit differently than I do.
Yeah.
You're what I would call a content creator.
Yeah.
I don't do it like that.
Right.
Although I do want to start doing more like that. You and Hormozy would be the same.
Yeah.
Hormozy does like you do. You and Hormozy are similar. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people love that because you're giving frameworks and the way you're doing it is content creatory.
Yeah. I would say him and I are like the two guys in the entrepreneur space doing it that way.
What I do is I just allow a camera to film me, being me, talking to whoever I'm talking to. And then I let a team chop that up and drop it. So when people say, I love your content, and I say, thanks, they're like, it's just so real. And I'm like, well, that's because it is real.
Just what I'm saying.
Like it is real. That's they're like, you're sure at your desk a lot. That's because I'm at my desk a lot.
I'm working.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad I did it. I think everyone should do it.
Yeah. And what's your plan with it for the next couple of months? Like, I guess next couple of years? Is it to
I'm about to blow it up.
Are you going to just keep doing the same thing? Or are you going to become a content creator?
You can't do the same thing and expect different results.
Right.
So yeah, even though I don't grow fast enough. So I'm going to boost. I'm going to pay. I'm going to spend.
Oh, that's how you're going to grow. You're going to just boost all your posts.
I'm going to boost and advertise and spend. Like Ty Lopez spent $1 million a month on YouTube to become what he is today. Grant Cardone, before anybody was doing anything, Grant Cardone spent close to $1 million a month getting his face to pop up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he had millions to spend. So lucky for him. A lot of people don't. Well, now that I also am in that category, I believe I'm just going to pay to be seen and exposed to more people. Because I think if the whole world knew who I was, I'd have way many followers and fans and attention. But the problem is they don't know who I am. So you have to show and expose yourself to everybody you can. And sometimes that's just a matter of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to spend it because I already know the return.
Yeah.
You should do the same thing. You're not broke.
Yeah. Well, we're spending. So when you say you're going to boost, are you going to buy ads? Because I see you have ads for like,
I'm going to buy ads. I'm going to buy ads for my companies.
Yeah. You're going to, so your face is out there for the ad, but are you talking about just boosting organic content that has no
both
calls? Okay.
Both.
All right. I'd be curious how the organic one does. Cause since it's not, I mean, if they follow you, it will be monetized 1000%, but just not like directly that post.
No, like let's say, for example, I spent $1,000 a day boosting a piece of content that I thought was great. Well, number one, you can see how many new followers you got, and you can do the math, and you can see what it's costing you. But to me, to show it to an extra 50,000 people that don't follow me, that's what I'm paying for, because it's already being shown and shared amongst the people that do.
Yeah.
And I pick up a little bit of here and there, but if I were to pay for it, well, then I'm going to go out and be exposed to a new audience, and they may not like me, which is why they don't follow me, which is fine, but at least we've given them an opportunity.
Right. Or they're going to follow you because they don't like you.
Either one. I don't care.
Look at Andrew Tate. A lot of his haters follow him just to be pissed.
Yeah. Which means they're still fans.
Exactly. It's a, what's the saying? A hater's just like it's like a delusional fan, essentially.
Or a jealous one.
Yeah. They're just like a fan deep down. They just don't know it.
Deep down, they're all fans if they're watching you.
It's true. Well, bro, it's always good hanging out with you, man. Appreciate you coming on the show. We'll link to the Dropping Bombs, the Real Financial, and everything else, dude. Appreciate you coming to Vegas and hanging out with me.
Appreciate you having me, bro. Keep up the good work.
Go.
Keep setting the example.
That's the goal. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching all the way through on this podcast. It means a lot to me. I've also done another interview that I think is going to be super helpful for you, so make sure you watch this one now coming up next.